Let's just take everything down onto your back for me, please. All right, so let's start with the feet a little wider and the knees just falling in towards each other, and just start with 2 or 3 big deep breaths. So try and let the head relax into the floor, shoulders opening wide, breathing in through the nose and breathing out the mouth. Good. Inhale. Feel that chest lift up. Breathing out, just feel it breathe right down into your belly. One more. And exhale. Good. From here, let's just take those arms right up to the sky. Keep the feet wide, the knees together, and just go into a few big arm circles. So beginning to pull that belly button gently into your back, not letting that rib cage lift up. Arms sweep overhead, and then bringing it round. Inhale as it goes overhead. Exhale to sweep it round. Good, just for 2. And 1. Good, leave both arms up to the sky and just give the shoulder blades a little bit of a pull. So inhale as the fingertips reach up to the sky, and exhale as you slide those shoulder blades back and in towards the spine. Good. Inhale, little reach. Exhale, slide it back. Again, we have control of the belly, and we make sure that as we pull the shoulder blades back, we don't let the chest push out too much. We don't want to stick the rib cage out. Good, just for 2. And 1. Good, let's bring the arms down by the side. Leave the knees and feet the way they are, and let's just go into our pelvic tilt from here. So my knees are bent, my feet are wider than my knees are touching, and I'm just going to pelvic tilt from here. Still breathing in to be in neutral, breathing out to roll back to imprint. Focusing on just letting that belly just pull in and the rib cage slide down as you imprint the spine. Good. Just for 3, 2, and 1. Good. Let your knees open so that your knees and your feet are in line with your hips, and then keep with your pelvic tilt. Inhale to neutral, exhale to imprint. Good. So you're just feeling that little pelvic tilt forward and back. Good. Really switching on those deeper belly muscles as you roll into your imprint. Good. Just for 2. And 1. Let's hold it in a neutral spine. So we have that small little gap under the small of the back. We're going to just go into our hip release. So let the right knee drift wide. Push the leg out straight. Twist it inward and pull it back where it came from. And stay with that right leg. Let's get a few moving on that side. Remember, we want the pelvis completely still. We're just allowing that hip to kind of circle in its joint. Breathing in as the leg goes away from you, and breathing out to twist it in and pull it back where it came from. Good, let's do one more on the right side. Good. Left side, same thing, knee drifts wide, pushes long, twist in, comes up. We keep that neutral spine the whole time, so the gap stays about the same the whole time. We make sure that that marble in the center of the pelvis is completely still. Good, let's go for 3, 2, 1. Good, pull the knees and the feet tighter together, and just start with that little rock from left to right, beginning to just loosen up the spine. Good, let's keep with the movement initially. We're going to come back to the middle into neutral, but I'm going to straighten out my left leg. I'm just going to bring my right leg to tabletop. We're going to start with a small hip circle, but with that knee bend. So Just keep that knee bend. Inhale, half a circle. Exhale, half a circle. Maintain that neutral spine with the still pelvis. Just get that little bit more movement down and through that hip joint. Good. Change direction with the circle. Good. For 3, 2, 1. We're going to stay neutral. We're going to keep that leg in tabletop. We're going to bring the left arm up to match. And as my right knee drifts to the side, my left arm is going to go to the other side and pull it back in. So just getting that opposite movement, left to right. Inhale away, exhale to pull it up. Keep that belly muscle pulled in, keep the pelvis still. Good. For 3, 2, 1. Straighten that right leg up, just a little hold of that leg behind the hamstring and just feel that stretch right at the back of the thigh. Trying to keep your head and shoulders relaxed, so if you need a little cushion under your head while you're stretching, that's okay. Good. A few deep breaths as you stretch. Really trying to push that knee straight, feel that stretch right into the back of the knee and up into the back of the thigh. Good. Bring that right leg down, slide it out straight. Let's bring the left leg to tabletop. Again, make sure we're neutral, so small space for about a grip underneath. Hip circle with the bent knee. Still inhale, half a circle, exhale, half a circle. Good. So there might be a very tiny kind of quiver in the pelvis, but it's definitely not rocking from left to right. That belly button's pulling into the spine, and that's holding the pelvis really still. Good. For 2, 1. Change direction with your circle. Good. For 3, 2, 1. Left leg stays in tabletop. We're still neutral spine. Right arm goes up. Inhale as the knee and the arm go away from you. Exhale to pull them back to the center. Good. So remember, you're only moving that hip out to the side, that knee out to the side, as far as you can control it through your belly. You don't want to be going out wide if it means your pelvis is rolling over with it. Good. Nice. Let's go for 3, 2, 1. Good. It comes back to middle. We lengthen that left leg up to the sky. Grab in behind the leg with your hands and just let that come into that nice big stretch. Good. Bring that knee down, pull it into your chest, just let the other leg come up to match. Try not to bounce on it, but just hold the knees in tight and just let that stretch right into the base of your back. Good. Take a few breaths as you hold, just let all that musculature relax in the base of your back. Good. Bring the feet back down. Knees and feet hip distance apart. Let's roll back into our imprint. So we're drawing that tummy in a little deeper, sliding the tailbone towards the feet and allowing that rib cage to melt down into the tummy. And we're going to bring both legs up to tabletop, just one at a time. Good. Let's just start with a gentle toe tap. So 1 foot down, bring it back up. Good. Nice. So keep pulling that belly in deep, making sure you feel those lower vertebrae really down on the floor. Good. Take a breath in. On your out breath, come up into ab prep and keep toe tapping. So just pull the head and shoulders up off the floor. Chin tucked into the chest, eyeline looking down between the thighs. Good. 4, 3, 2, 1. Good. Leave the legs still. Take the head and shoulders back. And let's keep with our ab prep. So inhale, exhale, chin tuck, head and shoulders slide up off the floor. And bring it back down. So really think about gliding that rib cage down in towards the belly button as you come up. Breathing out as you come up. Remembering as you go down that we've got to keep the belly button into the back. We don't want to let the back arch as you relax down. Good. Nice. Let's go for 4, 3, 2, 1. Good. We're just going to warm up the obliques a little bit. So we're going to bring both hands to the sky, put the palms together. We're going to come up into that ab prep, and then I'm just going to take both hands to my left side, bring them over the top to the right side. So they just go over my knees as if I'm drawing a little rainbow. I let my upper body just slightly go from side to side with them. Just feel those oblique muscles starting to waken up. Good. Good for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Let's stay in ab prep, hands either side of the shoulders or of the hips, and let's start with our 100. So breathing in for 5, breathing out for 5. Good. Breathing in for 5, breathing out for 5. Good. Keep that going. Good. For 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Head and shoulders back and hug those knees into the chest again. Just let that stretch. Good. Let's bring both feet back to the floor. Hip distance apart, and we'll go into a couple of bridges from here. So just stretch out the front of the hips and the tummy a little more. So head and shoulders on the floor. Start from neutral, go back into imprint. Breathing out, we lift those hips right up to the sky. Knees pushing out over the toes. Really focusing on keeping everything parallel. Good. Breath in at the top. Out breath in, we start to roll down through the spine. Gliding the ribcage down, then the area around the belly button, then the top of the pelvis before the bum hits the floor. Good. Couple more. Inhale, exhale, lift. So using that out breath as you pull your belly muscles in towards your back, trying to move the spine as slow and kind of as individually, as separate as you can. Good. A couple more. Good. Let's go for 2. Last one. Good. Exhale as you come down. As slow as you can go. Good. Bum hits the floor. Let your knees and feet come together. Bring both arms to the sky. And as both knees go right, Let the head and let both arms go to the left. So really twisting up that spine as much as is comfortable. Eyes are looking out at the hands on the left side. Knees are pushing over to the right. Good. Pull it all back up through the middle and go the other way. So my knees drop over to the left. Head and hands go to the right. Good. As much stretch in that spine as you can get. Good. Pull it back up through the middle. Bring those arms back down. Let's roll back into imprint. So sliding the belly in, closing that gap down in the spine. Legs are going to come to tabletop. Good. We're going to start with that right leg, just lengthening out as low as you can control. Pulling it back in. So head and shoulders are going to stay relaxed on the floor. You're focusing on maintaining your imprint. So remember, the leg only goes as low as you're controlling your spine through your belly. Good. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, pull it in. Good. You should feel that little quiver in your tummy muscles. Good. For 2. 1. Good. Now we're going to just start to push both legs out at the same time. So you're probably not going to be able to go as low. But you're going to push both legs out until you find that little quiver in your tummy. Keep the back flat and pull it back in. Good. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale to pull it back. Feel that tummy work. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, pull it in. Good. Make sure the rib cage slides down into the belly. Make sure there's absolutely no movement underneath the spine. Good. For 2. 1. Good. A little quick hug of the knees into the chest. Good. We're going to bring the legs back to tabletop. We're going to come up into ab crunch. So if you need to support your neck, you can do. You can pull your hands in behind your head. We're going to do the same thing. So my right leg's going to lengthen away slowly. It's going to come back in. My left leg's going to lengthen away. Pull back in. Good. So remember, if you're supporting your head, just make sure your elbows stay out wide. The base of your skull is just sitting in your hands. You're not actually holding it up. Good. For 4. 3. 2. 1. Good. We go back to double legs and make sure the pelvis stays tight and bring it back in. Good. Keep that rounding in your ab prep, head and shoulders off the floor. Make sure that pelvis doesn't tip forward as the legs go out straight. Good. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, pull it in. Let's go for 2. And 1. Good. We're going to keep it in tabletop with the arms out. We're going to pulse back into our 100. Breathe in for 5. Breathe out for 5. In for 5. Out for 5. Good. Keeping that going. Make sure we have that chin tucked into the chest. Good. For 5. 4. 3. 2. 1. Head and shoulders down. One leg down. Second leg down. Good. So just slowing that all down, getting that nice depth of control in there. We're going to go back up into our bridge. We're going to then do some single leg work. So I want you to place both hands either side of your hips on the floor. And a little bit of pressure down into them just to keep your chest open. And we're going to roll up through our bridge, lifting that bum right up off the floor. Good. From here, we're going to take the right leg up to the sky. And then we're going to sweep it down so it's level with the left knee. Kick it back up. Sweep it down. Lift it up. Down and up. Good. For 2. 1. Right leg comes back down. Left leg goes up. Good. Lower level with the knee. Kick it up. Down. Up. For 3, 2, 1. Place the leg down. Roll back down to the floor. Good. We're going to take the feet just slightly further out so they don't have as much bend. So keep them parallel. But reduce the bend in your knees so that when you lift your bum this time, there's a little bit more weight on your heels. Take a breath in, breath out, roll back up into the bridge. You should feel this now more in behind your thighs, so right into your hamstrings. If it's not, push the feet out a little further. Inhale, exhale, roll down just exactly the same way. You can lift your toes if you want to keep the weight in your heels a little more, and that will make your hamstrings work even harder. Good. Inhale, exhale, lift. So when we fire up these hamstrings, you'll find that it's a wee bit harder to get that kind of isolation on the way down. So really pull that belly muscle in. Keep the tailbone tucked in as you come down through that bridge. Good. Couple more. Still using that out breath to go up. Inhale at the top and out breath to come down. Good. Feeling that into the back of hamstrings. If you get a cramp, just kick it out and then come back to it. Just 2 more. Good. Last one. Good. And roll it down. Good. When your bum comes down that time, just kick it out a couple of times. Just get that kind of release in the legs. And then we're going to do the opposite. We're going to pull the heels as close into your bum as you can possibly go. Hands pressed down into the floor again. We're going to keep that chest open, so as if your collarbones are smiling. And then we're going to lift that bum right back up again. So you should feel your bum lifts up higher in this position. Right leg goes back up to the sky. Comes down level with the left knee. Kicks back up. Good. For 4 and 3, 2, 1. Replace the right leg to the floor. Left leg goes up. Comes down. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Comes back to the ground. Roll down through the spine. And when your bum hits the floor, let your knees just rock from left to right. Good. Now, we're going to go back into the middle. You're going to roll into your imprint and bring your legs to tabletop. Okay, we're going to bring the hands in behind the head. Make sure the rib cage doesn't lift up. And we're going to hand prep into our oblique crunch. We're going to go from left to right. So inhale, exhale, chin tuck. Left elbow comes across to the right side and back down. So just keep it all left to right initially. Drawing that belly button into the back. Good. Remember the elbows stay out wide. Try not to let it come across your face. Good. For 3, 2, 1. We're going to stay up in that ab prep position with the rotation. So I'm looking to my right side. I'm then going to lengthen my left leg and pull it back in. So my twist in my upper body stays, and I lower my left leg, bring it back to tabletop. So I'm going towards my right knee, and then my left leg is doing the work. Good. For 4, 3, 2, 1. Legs to tabletop, head comes back into the middle, and then we're going to go into our bicycle crunch from left to right. So we lengthen one leg and twist to the other side. Good. Again, keep the elbows out wide. Good for 4, 3, 2, 1. Head and shoulders down. One leg down. Second leg down. You're going to roll over to your right side. And you're just going to do your open book stretch before we do that with the other side. So good bend on the knees. Lying on your right. Breathing in to bring your arm to the sky. Breathing out to open into your stretch. Good. So both knees stay tight to the floor. Tummy engaged with the hips pointing forward. Good. Remember the eye line follows the fingertips. We never lose sight of them. That might mean that your arm doesn't go as low as you think it should, but that's okay. Good for 2. And 1. Good. You're just going to push your knees back a little so that they're more in line with your hips, and you're going to push up onto your right elbow. Okay, we're going to lift up into that side plank, and then I'm going to rotate into that rotation underneath and back up. So inhale to twist, exhale to open. Keep that belly pulling in tight. If anybody's feeling particularly flush this morning, you can go right up into your extended legs, and you can rotate under and open from the full side plank position. Your choice. Inhale, exhale, open for 4, 3, 2, 1. Good. Lower it down, and you're going to roll back over onto your back. Okay, so we're going to do the same thing this time. It's going to go from the right to the left. So hands starting behind the head. Make sure the rib cage doesn't pop up. Imprint to bring the legs to tabletop. Our crunch this time goes from right to left. So inhale, exhale, right elbow across towards the left knee. Good. Think about the shoulder blade being the thing that's pulled over towards the left side. Good for 4, 3, 2, 1. Good, and then we come up and we hold that rotation on the left side. So I'm twisting my upper body to the left, and then I'm going to lower my right leg and bring it back up. Lengthen and tabletop. Good. So you want to keep your abs nice and high. Keep that rotation to the left, and let the right leg do the movement. Good for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Comes back to the middle, and we go into the bicycle crunch. So it now goes from side to side. Good. Feel those tummy muscles work. Good. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Head and shoulders down. One leg down. Second leg down. Good. From there, you're going to roll onto your other side. So you should be rolling onto your left side. Okay, good bend of the knees. You've got your open book stretch first of all. So Arm starts in front. Inhale as it goes up to the sky. Exhale to twist. So as much as this is a stretch and a bit of recovery, you still have to keep control in the belly. Good. Thinking about that light kind of shining from the torch that works its way as far out to the ceiling as you can go. Nice. Let's go for 2. And 1. Perfect. So if you're standing on your knees, you pull your knees back a little so they're more in line with your hips. They stay bent, stacked on top of each other. We come up onto the elbow. Make sure your elbow's directly under your shoulders. You shouldn't have to be reaching away for it. It should be right underneath you. And then you lift that hip up off the floor, top arm to the sky. Breathe in as you rotate your chest under and out to open. If you're going full extension, legs are out straight, and we just keep that hip off the floor. Good. Good for 4, 3, 2, 1. Good. Bring it back down. Just seat yourself over into your child's pose stretch. So come to heels. Reaching those arms right out in front. Get that nice big stretch. Good. As you hold that, let's take both arms to the left. Just feel the right side of your body just lengthen a little more. Good. Both sides, or both hands to the right. Feel the left side stretch a little more. Good. Bring it back to the middle. Let's take the body weight forward. We're going to do a little bit of extension now that we've done all that nice rotation work. So come right down onto your front. We'll keep the hands beside the shoulders initially. We're going to go into a little bit of our swan dive first of all. So you can take your feet ever so slightly wider than that kind of parallel line. We still have to pull the belly button in off the floor, kind of tucking the tailbone in so the pubic bone just feels lightly on the mat. And then we're going to start with that thoracic extension. So we take the breath in, out breath, we roll the eye line forward to the front of your mat, slide your shoulder blades down your back, squeeze your tummy in your bum, and just push yourself up as far as you're comfortable. So if it means you'll be coming up onto your forearms initially, that's okay. Remember, we don't want any pain or pressure in the lower back. Inhale at the top, exhale, slowly coming down. A bit like your bridge, your belly button comes down first and the bottom of your ribs, top of your chest is the last thing with your head. And again, inhale, exhale, eye line, shoulder blades, tummy and bum. Good. Slowly down, using that out breath to lower, pushing that chest forward until the last second. Good, and again, inhale, exhale, roll it up. Good, and down. Let's go one more, inhale, Exhale up. And taking it down. Good. When you come down, let's bring the hands up underneath the forehead. Let's slide the legs back in a little closer so they're more in line with the hips. Just keep the belly muscle drawn in. And let's shift the focus a little bit more back into the upper back again. So we take a breath in, breath out, we're just going to bring the head and the hands off the floor into that little hover position. So now my chest and my eyeliner are still pointing at the floor. Bringing my elbows up so they're in line with my shoulders. Breathing as I hold. Good. Keep focusing on pulling your belly button away from the floor. Inhale, exhale, lower. Same again. Inhale, exhale, lift. Good. Keep breathing as we hold. Good. Inhale, exhale, take it down. Good. We're going to go up again. Inhale, exhale to lift. Left hand is going to stay at the forehead. My right hand is going to start to reach in front. I'm just going to hold it there. And then that right hand is going to come around to the side at 90 degrees. It's level with the shoulder. And then it's going to come around so it's by my hip. Good. Keep holding that hover. Bring the leg or arm back up to shoulder. Good. Bring it round in front. Good. Bring it back to the forehead. And lower to the floor. Other side. Inhale. Exhale, lift. Left arm reaches in front. Just holding. And then it comes to the side. Comes around by my hip. Comes back to shoulder height. And comes back in front. Goes back to the forehead and lowers to the floor. Good. Last set, we're going to take both arms out to shoulder height. So you're in kind of that T shape. So your fingertips are in line with your shoulders, palms pointing down. We're taking that breath in, out breath comes up. We're going to make sure those hands are up level with the shoulders. And we're going to breathe as we hold this, and we're going to pulse those arms like we do with the 100. So they're just going to go up and down. The head and shoulders stay still off the floor. Good. Focusing on pulling those shoulder blades down the back. Good. Keeping that belly drawn in tight. Eye line directly on the floor beneath you. Like your 100, breathe in for 5. Breathe out for 5. Good. For 5. 4. 3. 2. 1. Lower it back down to the floor. And you can push yourself right up into your shell stretch. So bum to heels. Really rounding your spine this time. So really creating, curling yourself into a ball. Letting your hands slide down by your feet. Good. When you want to pull up out of that, you're going to come onto all fours. And we're going to go into just our cat dog stretch from here. So knees directly onto the hips, hands under the shoulders. And we're just going to work into our cat dog stretch from here. So breathing in, breathing out, we round that spine, tucking the tailbone underneath, chin into chest. Inhale to hold, and exhale We let it slide the other direction. Bum starts to stick out. Chest pushes forward, shoulders pull back, eye line to the front of the mat. Good. Inhale, hold, and exhale to change shape. Good. So you're trying to get as much movement, as much stretch as you can. In breath, hold you. Out breath, changes shape. Remember, when you push forward, it's your chest you want to push forward, not your belly. Good. Let's go for another one. Good. We're going to release back to neutral. Okay, so make sure that the tailbone is not sticking out or tucked in. It's right in the middle. Belly muscles are engaged and we have that just natural curve the way you would do when you're lying on your back in neutral. We're going to tuck the toes under and we're just going to lift the knees just a centimeter off the floor. So remember, if for whatever reason this doesn't suit you, foot problems, ankle problems, you can go into a Superman if you prefer. But we are breathing and we're just holding those knees a centimeter off the floor. Pulling the belly button into the back. Good. Keep that hold for 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Rest the knees down, let your bum go back. Okay, so just a bit of a variation on something like the plank, just helping with a wee bit of that endurance. Good. When you come up again, let the weight just be on your elbows. Okay, we're pulling the belly muscles in tight. We're going to take the right leg back. And we're just going to lift and lower that right leg. So just lifting it up to the sky and tapping it down again. Keeping the tummy tight so that the back doesn't dip as the leg lifts up. Feeling that squeeze on your bottom as you lift the leg up to the sky. Good for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Comes in. Left leg goes back, still neutral, pull the belly in. Left leg up and down. Good. Keeping those elbows pushing into the ground, shoulders stay strong. Good for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Pull it in. Bring the weight back up onto your hands. Keep neutral, tuck those toes again. So add that little lift. So again, if it's too much, you can go Superman. But we bring the knees up off the floor. Keep that weight balanced in the middle. Belly button pulling into the back. Good. Remember, the closer to the floor, the better. Good for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Lower the knees. Let your bum go back to your heels. Good. Last one in this position, push your weight back onto your elbows. My right leg is going to go back again, but this time it's going to go kind of up towards the sky and cross over to tap the floor on the other side. So it's going from left to right. So it just goes up in a point and back down. Good. So it taps pretty much to the right side of the mat and then the left side of the mat. Good. Keep the belly in tight. Make sure that the pelvis isn't rolling from left to right. Good. Four, three, two, one. Keep the leg on the floor, but in the cross position. So if it's your right leg, it's over to the left side. And then I just want you to sink back, pushing your leg away from you, and you should feel a little stretch in the left bum. So the bum that's, the leg that's at the front should feel a bit of a stretch. Good. Pull the weight back up. We're going to switch legs. So my left leg goes back, goes up to the sky, and then it taps to the right, up to the middle, down to the left. Good. Good control, deep breathing. Good for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Finish your foot on the floor in the cross position, and then just slide the leg backwards. You're kind of sinking down as if you're almost in a child's pose, but it's at a bit of an angle, and you feel that stretch in the bottom of the front leg. So it's the right leg if your left leg is back. Good. Pull it back up to the middle. Last time with the little hopper, we tuck the toes underneath. Drawing that belly muscle in. Good. We pull it up. Knees are close to the floor. Tummy engaged. Good for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Let the knees rest and take your bum the whole way back, reaching those arms out in front. Good. When you bring it up, you're just going to bring yourself into a sitting position. We'll take the legs out slightly wide, hip height, or hip distance, sorry. So yeah, if you're tight in the hips or in the hamstrings, you might want to sit on a cushion. We're going to take the arms out shoulder height. Feet are flexed up so the legs are a little bit tight with the belly tight. Inhale, exhale, we're going to rotate through the upper body. Inhale, we come back to the center. Exhale, we go the other way. Good, so we keep the sit bones on the floor. We're constantly trying to pull those shoulder blades back and down in towards the spine. And then as you twist, it's like somebody's pulling you up from the crown of your head. Good. Let's go for 2. 1. Again, comes back down. We're going to bring the right foot to the inside of the left leg. And take my hand to my left leg or your straight leg. Sit bones on the floor. And we're going to just drop into that side bend. Good, yeah. So start with your hand on the floor of the straight leg. Keeping the sit bones down. We're still pulling the belly button into the spine. And we're trying to keep space between the ear and the arm. So that arm is reaching up and away as you bend. Good. Pull it the whole way over. And do the same to the other side. Good. So you're reaching those fingertips out towards that far wall. You're pulling that whole rib cage up. But because your pelvis is grounded, you're going to get a nice big stretch on that side. Good. Whole way up. Switch the legs. Good. So my right foot, just left foot, sorry, sits on the inside of my right knee pretty much. Hand to the straight leg. Up and over. Good. Make sure you're breathing. Take the way up. Same to the other side. Good. Pull it back up. You're going to pull those knees in front of you, and we're going to just finish with a little bit of our rolling like a ball. So make sure you've got some room on your mat behind you. We're going to just roll basically into imprint, so my weight goes onto the very top of my pelvis. I'm going to pull those knees just a centimetre off the floor. Remember, we want the distance between the knees and the chest to stay the same as we keep in that ball shape. Breathing in to go back, breathing out to come up. Inhale back, exhale up. Okay, if it's a non-starter for you, you can just hold the balance in this position. Pulling the belly button into your back, keeping the shoulders relaxed. Good. Inhale back, exhale up. Keep the chin tucked into the chest. You're still holding that apple. Good for 3, 2, 1. Fall back onto your back. Keep the knees hugging into your chest. Good. We'll pop the feet on the floor. We'll bring the right ankle to the left knee. And we'll start with rolling them both legs to the left side. So we try and keep the chest pointing up towards the ceiling. Good. So just let your right foot just fall towards the left side of the floor. Keeping that knee open, you'll feel a stretch around your hip, a little bit into your back. Good. Pull back to the center, and then pull that left knee up into your chest. So kind of keeping your right ankle on your knee, so just for your bum stretch. That's us. Good. Foot goes down onto the floor. We'll pop the left ankle on the right knee. And we'll start by letting both of them fall to the right side. So you're kind of twisting from below your rib cage. We're trying to let the ribs and the chest stay open towards the sky. Good. Bring it back to the center. Keep the foot where it is. And sweep your right knee up into your chest for your bum stretch. Good. Bring it back down. Let's bring yourself right up into standing. Good. When you come up, let's just do a few big arm circles. So breathing in as the arms reach up, breathing out as you let them come down. Good. Wrap your arms just around your chest like you're giving yourself a nice big hug. And just take a little bend forward. So you just did a bit of an angle. And then I'm just going to twist my body a little bit left. Twist it a little bit right. Just get that stretch in the middle of your back. Good. Pull yourself back up into standing. Soften the knees. Weight through the toes. We're going to fall into our roll down. So breath in. Breath out. Chin comes to chest. Head and shoulders start to work their way over the tummy. The weight of the arms are carrying me down towards the floor. Tailbone stays kind of loose. Good. Inhale at the base. Exhale, then we tuck that tailbone underneath, pulling the tummy muscles in. Bringing yourself back up one bone at a time. Pulling the shoulder blades right down the back, head up tall. Breath in as those arms reach up to the sky. Then breathing out. And just shake it, fall free. Good. Well done, everybody. Thank you.